What's up, guys? We have some breaking news here on the Chiefs Report by Chat Sports. I'm Harrison Graham. DeAndre Hopkins is signing with the Tennessee Titans on a 2-year, $26 million deal. Those contract details coming in from Ian Rappaport. It was actually Doug Kyed and then Diana Rossini who had the news that Tennessee had landed Hopkins. And then Rappaport came in with the contract details. And look, I'll be honest, I'm disappointed. In the last 4 or 5 days, I had talked myself into DeAndre Hopkins being a Chief. I just thought that the longer time went on, the more it made sense that he would end up in Kansas City. Because what was he waiting for, right? Well, maybe he was waiting for Tennessee to commit to a bigger contract. At the end of the day, that's a big commitment for a free agent. In the middle of July, a 2-year, $26 million deal. So, look, maybe Tennessee was the only team willing to go multi-year. Maybe they were the only team that was willing to go 10 plus million per year. Hard to know for sure. He's going to make 12 million in year one, up to 15 if he reaches incentives. So, listen, good for him. On the flip side, it's kind of like, all right, man, like, don't come out and say you want to play for an elite level franchise quarterback and a team that can contend for a Super Bowl, then go sign with Tennessee, a team who, a lot of the way they've operated this offseason was a team that's kind of shifting toward a rebuild. So I kind of find it puzzling for them, too, to be honest. I know Tannehill's still there, Derrick Henry, but they also shipped out some of their pieces as well. So find it puzzling from their side, find it puzzling from Hopkins' side. Look, here's the bottom line 99 times out of 100, money wins out. Period. End of story. I think we were hoping that would be different here. I think had Kansas City extended Chris Jones, cleared up some cap, and given DeAndre Hopkins a big incentive 1-year deal, kind of like Odell Beckham got in Baltimore, I thought maybe that could get it done. But he opts for the 2-year security, which, hey, I'm never going to blame a guy for chasing money. But at the end of the day, he pounded his chest saying he wanted to play for a contender, wanted to play with a quarterback like Patrick Mahomes, and now you're going to play with either Ryan Tannehill, Malik Willis, or Will Levis. So, not really impressed on that side of things. Again, money's money. I'm never going to blame anyone for that. If someone offers me 2 years and 26 million, I'm probably going to take it too. But I thought maybe he'd want to go chase a championship because let's be honest, you're not going to win one in Tennessee. Now, real quick here, before we get to your mailbag questions, we had a mailbag video that was going to go out. One of them refers to DeAndre Hopkins, so, kind of ignore that part. In that same question that was asked, we take a look at some other receivers. So, kind of a good transition here. Does Brett Veach look in a different area at receiver? I think the answer is no. I'll expand on that in the mailbag, but kind of felt like Hopkins or bust, right? Like, I think you're going to lean on the depth now of Kadarius Toney, Marquez Valdez-Scantling, Sky Moore, Rashee Rice, Justin Watson, Justin Ross, obviously Richie James as well, and there's still going to be good competition there. I just like the idea of having a veteran wide receiver in this room, and someone who could be that true number one. And in DeAndre Hopkins, that's not going to be the case anymore. I trust Patrick Mahomes to make it work, but man, like, if you would have gotten him in here, I mean, you talk about the clear front runner to win a Super Bowl. I still think this is the team to beat, but definitely a bit disappointed. Let me know, are you guys disappointed in the news? Type Y for yes, type N for no. Let me know in the comments. And coming up, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button as well. Coming up next, your mailbag questions that I answered in a video back in the studio. So that's coming up here on the Chiefs Report. DeAndre Hopkins heading to Nashville, not Kansas City.
Chiefs Kingdom, who's excited for training camp? I know I am. We're well less than 2 weeks away. If you're excited, hit that like button, thumbs up icon, and like this video. What's up, guys and gals? Harrison Graham here with another episode of the Chiefs Report. On today's show, we've got a mailbag video. I took some of the questions I saw in the comments and wanted to cook up a mailbag since we haven't been doing our live shows recently. Don't worry, those will return soon. So let's go ahead and dive on in here. Ralph Constantin. It's Constantine? Constantine. Okay, thank you very much, Producer Coop. I apologize, Ralph. Is there another wide receiver the Chiefs could add not named DeAndre Hopkins? I mean, look, there's guys out there, Ralph, but the reality is it's thin pickings, right? Like, you look at the available guys and who they last played for. Kenny Golladay, I mean, you want to talk about an absolute disaster with the Giants. He was horrible. Julio Jones is just not what he was. Jarvis Landry is okay in the slot, but it's like, I mean, I'd rather have Richie James, who you already have. Byron Pringle, you could bring him back. He kind of flopped in Chicago, but played his best football here, obviously. Sammy Watkins, we talked about him on that reunion video. He's just cooked at this point. So I'm just not that interested in these guys, bottom line. I mean, if you want to bring in someone to compete in camp, sure, but I don't think there's anyone out there outside of DeAndre Hopkins that you would sign that would be a lock to make this football team. I think they would have to compete and earn a spot, including Julio Jones. So it's kind of DeAndre Hopkins or bust for me. We'll see where he ends up playing, which is what I'm going to ask you guys to do. Fill in the blank. DeAndre Hopkins will play for blank in 2023. Will it be the Chiefs? That's what I think. Will it be the Bills, the Titans, the Patriots, someone else? Who's the D-Hop going to play for this year? Drop a team in the comments. From Charles Cooper. Great name. What's the top thing you're watching for in training camp? It's a good question. I've got a few things that I'm keeping an eye on personally. Like, these are 3 storylines that come to mind, Charles. The wide receiver competition. If you don't sign D-Hop, what's the pecking order? Is Kadarius Toney ready to be a number 1? How does Marquez Valdes-Scantling, is he kind of just is what he is at this point? Does Sky Moore take a jump? What does rookie Rashee Rice look like? Like, is he a guy that contributes right away? Those are some things I'm looking at that position. Donovan Smith at left tackle. Can he hold it down? Bad year last year, but he played through injury. Can he get back to a solid level? Keeping an eye on that. And then which corner is the odd man out? You've got 4 starting caliber corners for 3 spots. You got L'Jarius Sneed, Jalen Watson, Joshua Williams, and obviously Trent McDuffie, who I think him and Sneed are locks to start. So out of Josh Williams and Jalen Watson, who's the odd man out? Those are 3 storylines I'm personally keeping an eye on. From Tristan Topper. Tougher competition in the AFC. Is it the Jets or is it the Ravens? There's a lot of hype around the Jets, and I'm just not sure I'm buying it. I'm sure Aaron Rodgers is going to play the narrative with himself that he's got a chip on his shoulder, yada, yada. I don't know why. He's an all-time great. He didn't play that well last year, though. Now, new team, it seems like he's reinvigorated. He actually took part in the offseason, which he did not do last year in Green Bay, and I think that probably impacted the potential chemistry that took a while to build with those young guys. So, you know, maybe he does bounce back and play like an MVP. I don't know, but I just don't know if I'm buying it. Like, it feels like too good to be true almost. Like, oh, the Jets of all people, they get Aaron Rodgers. They've got this pretty solid wide receiver room. The defense is loaded. Salah's ready to take off as the next great head coach. Is all that going to happen, though? Feels like a lot of question marks. And look, one thing we know is a healthy Baltimore, or a healthy Lamar always makes Baltimore a threat. I know the Chiefs have had their number, but if Lamar is balling and healthy, you always have to account for that. He can change a game by himself. So, you know, I still would lean Baltimore as being a bigger threat because it's a more known commodity if Lamar is healthy. We don't know what the Jets are going to be. They could be awesome. They may not make the playoffs. We'll have to wait and see how it plays out. Who do you guys think is the tougher team in the AFC for the Chiefs to deal with? Type J for the Jets or B for the Baltimore Ravens. Not sure why I put B there, but let us know. J for Jets, B for Baltimore Ravens. Join the family here at the Chiefs Report. Like I said, training camp just around the corner. We've got you covered. Daily updates, news, rumors, more mailbags like this. Our live shows are going to kick back into gear on Mondays as well. YouTube.com/ChiefsTV. Do not miss it. The season is almost here. From Rich Johnson. Harrison, have you been watching Quarterback? If so, what are your thoughts? I assume you're talking about the Netflix documentary. I haven't watched it all. I've watched a couple episodes and seen some more clips on Twitter. My main thing I want to say is I love getting this kind of access. I mean, it's so cool, right? Like, you get to see what these guys are like as people, what drives them. I mean, Mahomes is sitting there, or he recently said in an interview, like, I sometimes enjoy being the villain. I mean, you know, you see the clip of him and Crosby, right, where I'm here all fucking day. You woke up the wrong motherfucker, blah, blah, blah. Like, I love that shit, dude. It's just like getting to even with the other guys. Let me say this though, Marcus Mariota, thanks for participating. I've seen enough. Like you do not belong in this documentary. Great dude, it seems like, but not that interested. Kirk Cousins seems like a decent guy. He's kind of boring to me. Could you imagine like a Mahomes, Burrow, Aaron Rodgers, Lamar documentary? That would be electric. I hope this continues. I hope they pick a few quarterbacks every year. What would be a fun one for next year? Like Justin Fields. I think he's a huge topic this year. Justin Herbert, Trevor Lawrence. Get some of these other young quarterbacks in there. I think it would be fascinating. Great doc done by Netflix. I've enjoyed watching it. Patrick Mahomes is a real one. Chiefs fans are real ones. Get a real one Chiefs Kingdom t-shirt here at Chat Sports. Chatsports.com/realKC. No one does it like Chiefs Kingdom, so if you want to represent this fan base and this channel, pick one up today. Hell, go rock this at training camp. Chatsports.com/realKC. That link is in the comments and in the description as well. From Braxton Mahomes. That's like a combination of Patrick and Brittany Mahomes. Who's a Chiefs player we aren't talking about nearly enough? It's a good question. I really thought about this one, Braxton. I think it's Sky Moore. If there's one guy that it's what if he's like a 1,000-yard guy out of nowhere, 800 yards? I think Sky Moore could be that guy, especially if Kadarius Toney isn't ready for this opportunity, which we don't know if he will be or not. Sky Moore, I loved out of Western Michigan. I still am high on him. He had his rookie troubles, punt returner. I think he lost some confidence there, muffing a couple punts. But he was able to get over that, had a big punt return in the AFC title game, had some big-time catches, had a touchdown in the Super Bowl, even if it was a bit of a gimme. I'm excited for year 2 Sky Moore. I think he's got a huge opportunity to prove the Chiefs right for when they drafted him in the second round. So I think he's the player. We have not talked hardly at all about him leading up to this season. I'm excited to see what he can do. Who do you guys think is the Chiefs' most underrated player on this roster? Who is it? Most underrated Chief? I would probably say one of those offensive linemen. We don't talk about the big fellas. That interior is Joe Thuney is just an all-pro. He is a stud at left guard. You're Donovan Smith from producer Coop. I want to see what he does. I'm intrigued to see what he does on this team. But let me know who you guys think is the most underrated player on this roster. All right, Chiefs Kingdom, again, like the video if you're ready for training camp. I know I am. I can't wait for it to be here. My name is Harrison Graham. We'll see you guys soon.